Hello? Okay, perfect. You can hear me at the back? Very good. Okay. We'll just take Matt a couple of seconds to get it set up, and then we'll try and walk you through some of the features look like in practice. We're going to do the demo. The demo will all be presented in English. There will be a brief French introduction. So if you don't understand French, then just hold tight, and we'll get to the English portion. If you do understand French but don't understand the introduction, that's just me. That's just my French. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So, bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. Je m'appelle David. Je travaille pour Couchbase à Manchester avec Paul Pogba, Zlatan. Oui. Je suis désolé, je vais parler en anglais parce que votre anglais est formidable, mon français est formidable. Je suis ici aussi pour un passeport français parce que je pense qu'après Brexit, je préférerais habiter ici, oui. Pardon. Now, le nom de la présentation est comment commencer une révolution. C'est une grande question, oui, mais nous avons une technologie puissante. Et je vais commencer avec un peu de français. J'ai appris quand j'avais 12 ans. Nous allons au supermarché. OK. Encore une fois en anglais. Ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Okay. So what we'd like to do now for about the next 30 minutes or so is take you through why we believe that Couchbase is the data platform to deliver an incredible customer experience. The following demo is all completely live. So it's going to be real data, real users, real servers, maybe a little bit of real panic. So we'll see as we go through. And so to get this done, we'd like to take you all shopping. Okay, so here's where our journey starts with a very simple e-commerce retail website. We'd like each of you to participate. So please now take out your phones, your laptops, and go to the following URL at the top of the page there. Please do this now. So that's bit.ly /CB Revolution. And hopefully you should all be taken to this page. And what we would like you to do is place an order. Matt will demonstrate how to place an order. So this is our shop. You need to type your name or perhaps your company name if you want your company to get a shout out on here. Select exactly five items, no more, no less. That's the way this shop works. And then hit submit at the bottom. So again, you show the URL again, just to make sure people have got that. So it's bit.ly /CB Revolution. Okay, and we are going to be giving away some prizes for the orders that are coming in. So feel free to make multiple purchases. You might see our shop here has a variety of items. We do have a British range with, of course, the famous British cuisine. Some real delicacies, a pot noodle, a Scotch egg, and some fish fingers. So, like I say, a couple of orders. Let's see if we can see, Matt, some of these orders coming in. Okay, so we've got one here from Anil, who's gone for a burger and crisps. Ibanur, cookie, milk, again a burger. Burger's very popular today. Oh, is someone making multiple orders? Clearly a burger again. Oh. hopefully someone else will get a... Oh. We expected this. So clearly someone here has come along to see how a proper database works. Okay. So now we have some orders coming in with some traffic coming to our website. Let's see what that traffic looks like from the cluster's point of view. So here we have a representation that we've made for this demonstration of what the cluster. At the top, we have our 3 Couchbase nodes. These are running Couchbase Server 5.0. And these are virtual machines running in Amazon's Elastic Compute Cloud, AWS. Underneath, we have a representation of the visualization. So this is all live. This is all based off the traffic, off the browsing that you're doing right now. And each of these bubbles represents one of those interactions, represents a user on our shop currently browsing. And let's just think about that for a minute, like you've heard a few times at the conference so far. What's our expectations when we're browsing? If we're on a shopping site and we're looking to make a purchase, what does that browsing behavior look like? You'll probably start by searching for the products you're looking for. You'll then read the descriptions, look at a lot of images, maybe read some of the reviews, compare the alternatives, and then make your decision. And even once you've made your decision, you might do a little bit further searching to find the best price before actually placing that transaction at the end. That's a hell of a lot of browsing in order to make that purchase. And this is exactly where Couchbase fits. So whilst we're doing that browsing, let's talk about the experience that we want each of these users to have. We want the website to be lightning fast. We want the content to be, and recommendations to be personalized and specific to us. We want the availability and the price information to be bang up to date. How frustrating when you may have seen this, when you're trying to purchase a flight, you get to that very last stage of the booking and going, okay, I've done all this browsing, I've decided, only to be told the flight that you're looking for is no longer available at that price. What a dreadful experience that is. And so you also want this experience to be as fast as possible, regardless of how busy the site is. Regardless if they've got a promotion on, if they've got a sale on. Nobody wants to see the spinner. Nobody wants the slow browsing experience. And again, this is where Couchbase fits in. So Matt, if you could now sort of generate some more traffic to the website, we'll start taking a look at how Couchbase handles this. So as you'll have probably heard today, Couchbase is trusted by some of the world's largest organizations to run their most performance-critical, important applications. Couchbase is capable of handling millions of such interactions every single second on data sets that contain billions of documents and are terabytes wide. Performance and scalability, as Perry just mentioned, is ingrained from our very core. Now, the only thing more frustrating to a user than a website that is slow or sluggish, unresponsive, is a website that's unavailable at all. This website is currently undergoing maintenance, or the browser just never brings the page back. But many of us in this room will be engineers. We understand that from time to time, things can go wrong. The disk fills up. The network goes offline. A clumsy administrator accidentally brings down the wrong server. So let's do that. Let's simulate. Let's pretend we have a clumsy administrator. And so what we're going to do is go to the Amazon Web Console and just kill one of the VMs. Just shut it down as if it'd gone down by accident. So we'll pick one of the nodes, and we're just going to forcibly stop it right now, and then flip back to that visualization to see how Couchbase handles this. OK, so you see immediately the node is detected as down. Some of the interactions that were in flight will need to be retried. And then within 5 seconds, Couchbase detects that that node has gone down and reacts. The other servers, which have replica copies of the data, respond and make that data available so the interactions continue and the users get the very best experience. Couchbase Server 5.0 has the ability to detect node failures and respond and react within 5 seconds, ensuring your customers get the very best experience. Okay. So these features, these building blocks, performance, scalability, and high availability, again, all the features we're about to demonstrate are based on these fundamentals. So let's take a look at some of these features in action, some of the features that Perry just described. Let's start with query. So you've created a bunch of orders. We have a bunch of JSON documents within Couchbase that represent these orders. How do you make use of that? How can you use the data that we've captured to generate insights into your customers and then to deliver a better experience? How would you do? So if you want to better serve your customers, be they internal or external, for example, there could be your direct end users, the people consuming your products and services, or there might be internal departments, accountancy, finance. Take our shop example. What if you want to answer questions like, which are the most popular products that our consumers are buying? It looks like burgers, maybe. Could be something else. Which items of stock do I need to replenish? What hours of the week do the people of Paris do most of their shopping? Because, hey, maybe that would be a good time to purchase my adverts. And so how would you answer these questions today? Again, maybe this means exporting your data set into a separate application that you have to install and run, administer, maintain, and generate the queries from there. Or, like I said, as we described earlier, we can use the query service within Couchbase, and the data doesn't need to go anywhere. So let's take a look at how easy it is to add the query service to Couchbase. So we're going to go to the UI. So this is the Couchbase 5.0. Those of you that have been using Couchbase before, maybe this might be unfamiliar to you. We've reskinned and refreshed the UI and made some enhancements to make managing your cluster a lot simpler for you. Adding query service only takes 3 clicks. Step 1, you provide the server credentials for the server or VM that you want to add. Step 2, you choose which services that you would like to add. And so in our case, we're going to add query and indexing service. And then step 3, hit rebalance. And that's it, you're done. 3 clicks, and now you have a powerful query language at your disposal. And so to demonstrate this is working, we're going to run a quick query now to find out if it was burgers that were the most popular product in this room. Let's see. So we're using that SQL-like language, Nickel, nest of expanding that JSON data structure, and then we're going to count them and sum them. So let's go and run the query now. Red wine. Vin Rouge. Who would have predicted the people of France would go for red wine first? Okay, very good. Oh, and in second place, beer. And third, we have the burger. So red wine, beer, and burger. Sounds like someone's planning a party this evening. Okay, so that's all very good. We've got this ad hoc query capability embedded into the UI. Let's see how we can use that to give our developers a better experience and enhance our websites. So if we run a simpler query, so now I mentioned before, all of our products that are embedded in JSON documents have a category associated with them. So we can run a simple query and select the products that match a certain category. So here we're looking for all the products that are drinks. So we should see the red wine, the beer, etc. Okay, so we can use the UI as a way of rapidly checking the queries that we'd like to then embed in our application. A nice tool for developers to be able to rapidly prototype the work and deploy. When we talk about developer agility and the faster time to go to market, this is part of the piece of that puzzle that allows you to do your application. So now if we go back to our shop, you'll see that using this query that we just ran, we can now add filters. So we can click a button and it'll show us the products in that range. So let's have a look at the British products. Now see, here are our particular delicacies. I forgot to mention beans before. Very important staple of the British diet. Okay, so quite a simple example, but hopefully that shows you the power of being able to test a query out in the UI and quickly apply it to your website. So at this point, we would like to thank one of our valued customers in the audience and see who placed the most expensive order with us. So the products that we have were all allocated a random price. I think that was it Ibanur that was who was rattling the orders in. He's probably going to have a good chance here. So what we're going to do is go back to the UI and run a slightly more complex query. This time we're going to use the SQL notion of join. So we're going to take all of the items out of your shopping basket, join them with the product documents, extracting the price, sum those, and generate a bit of a leaderboard to see who has the most expensive order. So Matt, do you want to go ahead and run that? LNT. Did anyone place an order under LNT that would like to make themselves known? No? There might be a prize involved. Okay. Next up, Ebby's next. Ebby's next. There we go. Who ordered? What did you go for? Oh, very healthy. Ham, bananas, sausages, apples, and pineapples. So we have a bottle of champagne for you, and congratulations on your order. Thank you. Maybe see you outside like a Formula One, like a Ferrari driver, spraying it around later on. Okay, very good. So that's Query, a very powerful capability that we added in just 3 clicks. And remember, the data stayed where it was. No need for a separate piece of software. No need to install to migrate your data elsewhere. And we saw how easy that was to add to the website. But come on, this is 2017. I don't want to just be able to click buttons to find my products. I want to be able to search for them, obviously. In fact, I want more. I want to be able to type the wrong thing in the search box and have the website tell me what it was I was actually thinking of searching for. And again, how would you do that today? How would you search your data? We heard just before lunch, if you saw Dave Starling's excellent session from CNET, when they were considering adding search to their product, they were considering a 12-week project to install a separate piece of software, migrate the data into that, and then run search. Again, let's see how easy it is to add search with Couchbase 5.0. But you already know the answer. It's that same 3-click process. So back to the UI, click 1, we add the server's credentials for the virtual machine or server that we want to add. Click 2, we choose the service. In this case, we're running full text search. And then click 3, we hit rebalance. And that brings the search service into the cluster. In order for us to be able to run a search, what we need to do is define an index. So this is telling the search service which set of documents, which fields within those documents that they want to be searchable, with all of the parameters, which fields, which language those fields represent, etc. So Matt's just going through the search index creation portion of the UI so that we can then run a search against our documents. So when the index is done, again, embedded directly in the UI, we should be able to check it's working. So if we search for, say, eggs, you'll see that the products, the Scotch egg and the other egg, comes up with a context-aware, highlighted indication that, OK, we've managed to find a document with egg in. Now if we go back to the UI again, you see, now we reload the web page, we have search capability at the top. So once you've got the index built, embedding it in your application is tremendously simple. So now if we search for, say, bananas, OK, and there you see the search we've taken from now the index is created. You might actually notice that Matt, poor lad, hasn't been able to spell bananas correctly. He's actually put bananas. And this is part of the power behind full text search. It understands construction of words, of natural language, stems and plurals and different endings, etc. So again, no need to move the data, no need to install a separate piece of application, a separate application. So that's query and search, 2 very powerful features that we've just been able to add without moving the data, without installing a separate application, and just 3 clicks to get started with both of them. Thank you, Matt. So let's take a look at what the cluster looks like now back in our visualizer. So if you recall, we started with 3 nodes. We went to Amazon and killed one of them. So we have 2 data nodes left running the data service. And we added 1 query node and 1 search node. So we have this 4-node cluster. Part of this ability to dynamically add servers and services to a Couchbase cluster is one of the huge benefits of running in the cloud. But saying running in the cloud is tremendously easy. You heard before Ravi tell this tale of going, hey, cloud, yeah, I want some of that. How do I do that? What about your legacy applications? What about the old applications that are already running in your data center today? And often, these older applications are exactly you choose your cloud provider, maybe Azure, maybe Google, maybe Amazon. Do you just choose your relationship and that's it? You're stuck forevermore with that cloud vendor locked in? Wouldn't it be nice to have the flexibility to move back and forth between cloud vendors? Again, how would you do that today? What we can show you is how you do it with Couchbase using cross-data center replication. So let's do it. We are Obviously, how embarrassing. We're currently running in Amazon, AWS. But here we are at Microsoft. And so we would like to thank our hosts for their hospitality and move CouchMart, move our application live across to Azure. So let's see how long it takes to move an application to a different cloud provider with Couchbase. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to go to the XDCR, the Cross Data Center Replication tab of the UI. We're going to tell the Amazon cluster about the destination cluster. We're going to tell it, give it the Azure credentials. So this is an Azure IP address that we're giving. And so that's step one. You tell the source about the destination. Okay. And then step two, again, you choose which bucket or buckets you would like to replicate to the destination. And there you go. Our documents, as we speak, your orders, your burgers are zooming from Amazon across to Azure. And now that we've done that, let's have a look at what this looks like. So currently, we have the Amazon cluster running at the top. We have the Azure cluster. So we did previously launch 5 VMs in Azure, so that they've not sprung up automatically. They were already there. But they didn't have any data, and they weren't doing anything. But they do have data now. So now that the Azure cluster is running and has our data, we can change the web application to point to the Azure cluster so users don't notice any disruption. So what we're going to do is flip the web server across to the Azure cluster. And at this point, we'll be running entirely on Azure. So we can go back to the Amazon console and switch them off. So what we're going to do now is kill all of the nodes in Amazon now that the service is running, the application is running in Azure. So Matt's just going to choose these Amazon VMs. And again, I guarantee this is all completely live. So I'm crossing my fingers ever so slightly that this all works as planned. And so those nodes are gone. And if we go back to and have a look at what the cluster looks like now, Amazon has completely gone, and we're running exclusively in Azure. And just to double check, I want to go back to the shop and make sure that we can still do our business, still place an order. This time running on Azure. Matt will choose 5 items, hit go, and the order is submitted. We were running in Amazon. We're now running in Azure. The AWS nodes are gone without interrupting the application in less than 3 minutes. Okay. So everything you've seen so far has been with our online web application. And you've all been able to, many of you have been able to access it. But what about this? What about our mobile users? So, of course, they could have done, as many of you have done, have just accessed the site online. So you've been able to take your phone out of your pocket and order your burgers, your Vin Rouge, etc. But what about when you're not online? What if you're on the underground or the metro going home from a busy day at a conference and want to order your burger or your red wine? How do you do that if you're not connected? What about, and how does the data in your pocket reconcile itself, synchronize with the data that's in the cloud? So for the next part of the demonstration, we would like a volunteer. So please, maybe someone in the front few rows that would like to volunteer. There will be a prize involved. Do you want to, have you come? Excellent. A round of applause, please, for the volunteer. Okay. Just wait a second, we'll get you. Okay, so what we're going to do now is show you how Couchbase Mobile can be used to solve some of these problems. So we have, again, for this demonstration, we created a mobile app that we have connected here. So this is going to be running live on Matt's phone. Your name is? Lila. Lila. Okay, Lila. If you want to go ahead, you're going to be using the phone. And when Lila's accessing the phone there, all of the actions you'll be able to see live on the screen here. We're using a cable that's tethered there. So what we'd like Lila to do is choose exactly the same game as before. Choose 5 items from our shop. and then hit submit. Leela, I will warn you that everyone's watching what you're purchasing, so choose carefully. Okay, and there we see that the order has already gone through and come live. Instantly, the data on the phone synchronized automatically by Couchbase up to the cloud. One of the great benefits of Couchbase Mobile is that we provide the synchronization code. We do that piece for you, so that's less time for you writing the synchronization code and more time writing spectacular apps. Right, yeah. Told you it was live. Well, we've got a device update. Yeah. So that's fine. The device is online, but let's increase the stakes a little bit. Let's make this a little more difficult. What if Leela is on the way home and she has no connectivity? Now, we're going to simulate not having any connectivity by engaging the airplane mode of the device. So we click on the plane, and now, as you'll probably be familiar, the phone has 0 external connectivity. Now, we're using a cable to connect it to the screen so you can still see what's going on, but anything that does on the phone is completely disconnected from being online. So at this point, Leela, what we'd like you to do is order 5 more items, maybe this time 5 different items. So we've gone for tea bags, water, pot noodle, milk, and eggs. I'm not sure what you're cooking, but I'm sure it's going to be very good. And have you hit submit? If we hit submit. So there we go. Leela, she's on the metro. She's ordered the food, this fantastic meal that she's going to cook later on. She's hit submit. But of course, at this point, the device isn't connected. So we won't see the order come through. That is until we go ahead and re-engage airplane mode. And as soon as Leela comes out of the metro station, comes out of the underground, and that device restores connectivity, there we go. The eggs, the milk, the pot noodle, the water, and the tea bags for Leela. Automatically synchronized, and Leela was allowed to do her business while she was offline. Okay, and so to thank you, we have an order. We have a shopping bag. And I just want to show the Leela has earned herself a pot noodle, some water, some tea bags, and some eggs. And of course, a bottle of champagne. I think she might enjoy the champagne more than the pot noodle. Okay, so that's how we can create data on the device, on the mobile, and upload it and automatically synchronize, whether or not you're online or offline. So the next bit I want to talk about is how do we update the content on the mobile device? What happens if we want to change the application data? Say we want to add some more products. We want to update Leela on her order, which is delivered. Maybe we want to tell Leela about a special offer we've got on pot noodles this week. How difficult or how easy is it to update the data on the mobile? So in order to do this, what we're going to do is go back to that same query editor that we saw before. This time you might notice at the top, this is the cluster that's obviously now running in Azure. And what we're going to do is we're going to simulate one of the effects of Brexit. So unfortunately, the bad news, or maybe good news, once Brexit occurs, some of that fine British produce, the pot noodles, the fish fingers, will be harder to acquire on these shores. So what we're going to do is run a query. This time the query is going to update some of the documents, those product documents, where the category is British, and we're going to set the stock price, the stock level to 0. And so if we look for some of the British products on the mobile, Marmite, pot noodle, Scotch eggs, etc., when we run that query, so this is changing the data live on the server, and what we notice immediately, the products, the mobile experience has changed for the user. That's a simple SQL query. A simple SQL query on a single management platform automatically synchronized the data in the cloud to the data in the pocket. Nobody else can do that. Okay. So that brings an end to the demonstration. A recap of what you've seen. We started with a simple web application. We added query and search in just 3 clicks to get going, without moving the data, without installing a separate application. We moved cloud providers from AWS to Azure. We showed you mobile, synchronizing online and offline, and how easy it was to update the device on the mobile using a simple SQL-style query on the cloud. That is why we believe that Couchbase is the data platform to transform your customer engagement. And that is how you start a revolution. Merci.